Coming up on this week's episode of Airborne-Flight Training. Pipistrel offers free aircraft e-courses. Bristell introduces 915 Speedster LSA trainer. And the VA is sued by a community college flight school. Welcome to Airborne Flight Training, a weekly news program dedicated to all things flight training, as well as the amazing industry built around it. There's no segment more important to the growth of the aviation world than the flight training community. I'm Sophie Herlock. Pipistrel is offering their online courses free of charge for a 3-month period from now until the end of June, worldwide for anyone, pilot or not, interested in aviation. The free of charge online course will help to refresh and revise the theoretical knowledge required to fly and learn the specifics about modern Pipistrel aircraft series. These specially designed and developed courses cover training for the Alpha Trainer, the Virus SW, Virus SW-121, and the Alpha Electro, the only electric trainer in serial production in the world. Courses can be accessed from anywhere in the world with your laptop, tablet, or mobile phone. We'll be right back with Around the Patch.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Finally, a modern, affordable four-seater without compromise. Turbocharged Rotax 915 IS power, 155-knot cruise, 800 nautical mile range, 1,000 feet per minute climb, and all that at 8 gallons per hour. Don't compromise. Check out the Sling TSI today at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. It's time for today's trip around the patch. The TSA, along with the FAA, has transmitted a reminder message to certificated flight instructors about what they consider to be their responsibility in regard to flight training providers. On September 20th of 2004, the TSA issued 49 CFR Part 1552, Flight Training for Aliens and Other Designated Individuals, Security Awareness Training for Flight School Employees. This regulation requires aliens seeking flight training to submit specific information to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in order for DHS to determine whether or not the individual is a threat to civil aviation or national security. The National Intercollegiate Flying Association will still have its next champions determined in Oshkosh, even though the shutdown of most universities this spring due to COVID-19 forced the cancellation of the 2020 competition. NIFA voted to bring its SafeCon 2021 competition to Oshkosh, using EAA facilities and Whitman Regional Airport as its base of operations. Due to NIFA bylaws stating the competition must be held between April 1st and June 1st, a postponement in the summer of 2020 was not possible. Like much of the country, North Carolina is under a statewide stay-at-home order due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But one flight school operating at Raleigh-Durham International Airport continues to operate, and its CEO has told employees they had better not complain. Local media reports it obtained an internal email in which Blue Line Aviation CEO, Trey Walters, warns employees if they complain to authorities about the school being open during the pandemic, they will be terminated. Walters also stated if the school is closed, no one will be paid. We'll be right back with the rest of the news. The latest generation of LSAs are becoming a greater part of flight training every day. The economics, simplicity, and updated designs have become fast favorites for flight students looking to learn to fly in an aircraft that represents modern thinking. After completing around 600 Bristell sport aircraft since 2008 and 120 just last year, Bristell's new 915 Speedster is here in the U.S. and proving what a few more horsepower can do for the right airframe. The new 141 horsepower Rotax 915 IS turbocharged engine has turned a great flying little airplane into a real tiger. Current stats indicate it can climb to 12,500 feet in 11 minutes and achieve top cruise speeds in excess of 170 miles an hour. When properly equipped and rigged, the airplane can still be flown as an LSA, thanks to careful selection of structures utilizing both 6061 aircraft grade aluminum as well as carbon fiber. Some Bristell 915 Speedsters weigh less than 700 pounds, while offering a 157 knots indicated airspeed (VNE). The U.S. demonstrator is equipped for IFR flight, and while very fully equipped, still comes in at just over 850 pounds. Central Oregon Community College has sued the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, claiming the agency incorrectly billed them for $3.2 million. According to the suit, following a lengthy but incomplete compliance survey and through a series of debt collection notices sent to COCC, the VA arbitrarily and incorrectly claimed that COCC's actions caused the VA to overpay on behalf of COCC student veterans for flight training education. The VA is seeking reimbursement from COCC in the approximate amount of $3.2 million. The VA's arbitrary determination that it overpaid COCC is rife with clear factual mistakes, and the so-called process the VA followed is riddled with procedural errors. COCC has specifically identified the errors in the VA's findings and repeatedly requested that the VA follow the administrative review process, the school liability process, that was created by the VA specifically to address disputes between educational institutions and the VA. The VA has refused to follow this required review process and instead has continued to issue debt notices. And that wraps up this week's program. Airborne-Flight Training is pleased to partner with the Society of Aviation and Flight Educators, the Flight School Association of North America, and Master Instructors LLC. We also welcome other potential information partners to apply to join the team. We here at Aero-News are thrilled with the initial reception given to our Airborne Flight Training program. Until we get past the worst effects of the virus, Airborne Flight Training will alternate with Airborne Unmanned each Wednesday. We welcome input from our audience and are asking you to share your news, info, and insights with us. Please send any submissions to news@aero-news.net. I'll see you Friday.